6.2 through 6.3, the percent proportion and equation. Your book talks about the percent proportion in 6.2 and the percent equation in 6.3, but we're going to combine these into one unit and simplify it. But just so you know, they refer to the percent proportion as part over whole equals percent over 100. That's the percent proportion. The percent equation is part equals percent times whole. But right now you don't really need to worry about that because we're going to simplify it for you. We're going to talk about the is of way of solving percents, meaning you're going to have a bunch of questions and they're always going to have the words is and of in them. So whenever you see the word of, we want to relate that of word to the whole. Whenever we see the word is, we want to relate that to the part. So here is the percent proportion again. Part over whole equals percent over 100. I simplified it and put it into a box. Each box represents one of the words. This box represents is, this box represents of, this box represents the percent. As you can see, this matches our percent proportion. But it's simplified because all you have to do now is look at your question, match the words, and put the correct number in the box, then solve your equation. So for this first one, it says, what percent of 15 is 12? Well, here we have of, and up next to of is 15. So in the of box, we're going to put 15. Over here we have is 12. Is next to 12. So in the is box, we're going to put 12. And the question actually is asking you what percent, right? So that's the empty box. We know we're trying to find the percent, and that matches our question. So all you have to do now is set this up. This 12 over 15 equals x over 100, and then solve for x. We solve for x by multiplying both sides by 100, and that becomes 1200 divided by 15, which equals 80. So x equals 80, meaning 80% of 15 is 12. Okay, the next one we have, again, we're going to look for the words of and is, and here's our question. What number is 5% of 120? Well, first of all, we notice the percent sign. So right away, let's put that percent sign with the percent box. 5%, 5%. Now we see the word of 120. Of goes in the of box. And then this one is what number is. So is comes after, but it is closest to here, right? Does it match anything else? So is, and that's our empty one. So that's our question mark. That's our what. So this then becomes, if we write it out, x over 120 equals 5 over 100. Multiply both sides by 120 to solve for x. And we get x equals, let's see, 5 times 120 over 100. 5 times 120 is 600. 600 divided by 100. So that becomes what? 6. So 6 is 5% of 120. Okay, and another one. Okay, again, we're looking for the words of and is and the percent symbol, right? Here we have the percent symbol right away, so let's put that up there in that box. We have of what number? Well, we don't know what that is, right? So hopefully that will be our blank one. And then we have is 110. Is, in the is box goes 110. Okay, so and now we need to solve for this, set it up. We have 110 over x equals 55 over 100. If we do our cross product, we get 110 times 100 equals 55x. Then we get 11,000 equals 55x. Divide both sides by 55 since we're multiplying by 55 over here. And that means that x equals 200. So 55% of 200 is 110. And that seems about right because we know 50% of 200 is going to be 100, right? So our answer is definitely correct. All right, and then one last one, I guess. Here we have it, put this in here because it's worded just slightly different than the other ones. Again, looking for the words of and is and the percent sign. Of, we have 60. 12 is 12. What percent? There's no percent symbol in there, so that's our unknown. So then our equation becomes 12 over 60 equals x over 100. Multiply both sides by 100 and you get 1200 divided by 60 equals x. So x then equals 20. So 12 is 20% of 60. All right, now it is time for you to write in your notes. There are 2 fill in the blanks, and then you need to match the boxes with the words that go with them, meaning is, of, and the percent symbol. Which boxes do those match up with? All right, now 3 practice problems. All right, the first practice problem, remember we're going to use our box. And we have is, of, our percent symbol, and this is always 100. Okay, and then we have our equals sign in the middle. Okay, so let's look at our first question. What percent of 24 is 3? And of course, that's our unknown. So for this one, it's going to be 3 over 24 equals x over 100. Multiply both sides by 100, and you get your x. So now you need to simplify that down, and that would tell you what percent of 24 is 3. Okay, so now let's see if I can just erase this part and this part. Okay, for the next one, what number is 80% of 60? Well, here we see the percent sign, so let's put the 80 in there. We have of 60, let's put the 60 there. And what number is, that's our unknown, right? We're looking for the what, so that's our unknown. So this equation then becomes x over 60 equals 80 over 100. Multiply both sides by 60. Then you get x equals 4,800 divided by 100. That should give you your is, or your part. Okay. All right, and then let me erase these again. All right, and the last one, 15% of what number is 45 is 45, goes in the is box. We have a percent symbol that goes in the percent box, and of what number, that's our unknown. So then our equation then becomes 45 over x equals 15 over 100. We do our cross product, that becomes 4,500 equals 15 times x by simply multiplying 100 times 45 and then x times 15. Since this is multiplication on this side, we need to divide so that we can get x by itself. And then this will then tell you what the whole is, right? So if you Calculate that out. That will be your answer. And that is the end of 6.1, or sorry, 6.2 through 6.3.